Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We've got a story that keeps on giving. That is a story that went from a podcast shout-out from a former Bachelor producer to Blake responding on his Instagram, then deleting Reddit, bringing life to this story. Us Weekly covers it, and now it's deleted. That's right. I'll tell you right now, this Blake Horstmann story, I don't think has too much to it, but boy, are there a lot of people who want it to go away. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for private bonus content. We'll be live at the 10 a.m. hour. And every morning and afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast. We already have the morning's episode. We covered some fun entertainment news stories, and we'll be back this afternoon with more. But if you want some bite-sized content on the way to work and maybe your lunch break or your return home or maybe while you're walking the dog, Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast. Okay, I'm going to get into this Blake story, but to make this Blake story worth it, let's just quickly talk about Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is about transforming the world one small charity at a time, right? It's a global generosity movement unleashing the power of people and organizations to transform communities in the world. And a sad story is turning into a story of hope and a story of linking arms and helping out communities, and that being a friend of my family's had the tragedy where their child passed away shortly after birth. And because of that tragedy, they've created a charity, and that charity is providing gift packages to siblings who also lose a young sibling through such tragedy. And too often I think they're forgotten in these tough situations. But these care packages are very simple. They are just journals and art supplies and just things that can busy the mind during tough times. Managing childhood grief, a parent's guide. These are very tangible and unique things that can really help out families during tough times. If you want to donate, you can just click a link and buy something, $8, $6, and it'll go to a good cause. They're assembling these packages, and then when they have a family that can use one, they're handing them out. What a blessing they are providing. Link in the description to check that out. Okay, let's get to it. We had the story yesterday that we covered, right? And I said at the time, Blake made a statement saying, my Raya was accidentally re-uploaded when I got a new phone, and we found out and we shut it down. It's hard to shut it down. I don't know if that's true or not. He says he bought Raya, the private dating app, a day or two before going on All-Star Shore, which is where he met Giannina. And I don't know, my thought was, he's a guy who's probably making upwards of $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year, maybe even to the $1 million range. He's doing really well with his influencing and DJing work. His fiance is doing really well too. And my thought was, he's probably paying his bills and not thinking twice about it. Well, this article came out and then it was deleted. I'm going to share the article with you in a second. It's really nothing too sinister. I think it's actually better that I talk about this than not talk about it, because you might think it's worse than it actually is. And that's, of course, what the Streisand effect is. When you try to get rid of something, you make it so much worse. Anyway, the ex-Bachelor producer who initially blew this story open on her podcast has been wishy-washy on and off about what she's sharing and not. She's got tons of crazy Bachelor people in her DMs calling her all sorts of names. And either way, so I'm going to get into that. We made this story yesterday, and Blake said, I can't believe I have to address this because of a crazy ex-Bachelor producer. My thought was, if Blake's in the wrong and if the producer has evidence, that they would vindicate themselves and share that evidence, because they wouldn't want to look like a crazy ex-Bachelor producer. So far, this Bachelor producer that we're going to talk about, Alana Noel, has only shared relatively accurate stuff. She's proven to be relatively credible so far. I say that because some of the claims that she's made, she hasn't backed up, but we have heard that there are receipts and those types of things. Some of the claims about her ex are actually pretty astonishing and should be taken kind of seriously, as he sounds like he was actually kind of like a monster. So there was accusations that the ex-producer made of former cast members of Bachelor in Paradise that hooked up with her ex, who's a producer, while they were still together. I haven't seen the receipts confirming that, but it's almost pretty well-known knowledge that that did happen, that the producer on The Bachelor was a man hooking up with alumni from the show. We don't have any information that he was hooking up during the taping of the show, although she has shared rumors that he was actively being hit on when they were being dumped on the show. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's just the producer's ex. That's not the producer herself. But I say that because she shared some wicked tea, kid. And I got to tell you, so far, most of it's accurate. Is this story accurate is the question. Well, here's what she said. Holy shit, you guys. Literally, people are trying to speak and it's getting removed or reported. So she starts showing that any comments on Us Weekly's thread regarding Blake Horstmann were getting deleted or blocked. And of course, it ended up, the whole article got deleted. But she said, Us Weekly is filtering everyone's comments, or Blake's team is reporting anything negative. And again, it doesn't mean it was Blake's team. It could have been. Us Weekly deleted the Instagram post and changed the entire article because Blake is sweating and lying through his teeth. My jaw's on the floor. He knows the receipts we have and is panicking, says Lana Noel. And again, the comments were, OMG, they deleted the photo. And it's true. There was this article right here that was... and I'm going to share the article. When you click on it, it ended up becoming an old article. They basically pulled whatever story they had. My guess is there was nothing illegal about the article. If you look down on the left, Blake Horstmann denies being on Raya during Giannina Gabelli pregnancy. That's just the article, right? And when you click on it, it actually led to this article. So it got a little wild out there for a second. Again, I'll share the article. Lana Noel ended up deleting all of the things I just shared with you, and this is what she posted. I deleted my stories because this is not my business anymore. I saw Blake Horstmann on the app, did my research, discussed it on the podcast. Prior to the episode, I knew he corresponded with somebody else on the app sometime between September and early November. After I released the episode, she, the person he corresponded with on Raya, showed me receipts, photos, and videos she took from her friend's phone. This person does not want to come forward out of fear of how she will be dragged. She messaged Us Weekly after that article was released, before it was taken down. I'm signing off. So, okay, there's a lot here. It appears to be, and again, I haven't seen the evidence, but it looks to be credible that Lana Noel is saying that Blake did message someone on the app. Now, does that mean he was nefariously trying to go behind his pregnant lady? No, it doesn't mean that. And again, it could involve a little bit of flexibility if we're trying to stretch here. But could it have been that Blake wants to maintain a presence with highfalutin influencers because he's a DJ and you're only as good as the people you can bring to your shows? Maybe. It really comes down to, did Giannina know about this? And was she okay with it? I always say this. You should never expect your partner to be in your DMs, but you should act as if they are. Do you know what I mean? So don't expect, have some trust there that you're not sending or doing anything nefarious, but pretend like there is no secrecy, because that way you'll have nothing to fear if you're snooping around. Could it have been that Blake, and again, some have theorized that, he found out he's going to become a father and he got cold feet and he wanted to still know he could flirt with people. I don't know. I mean, whatever, maybe. But until these receipts come out, we just don't have anything to work off with. I'm choosing to believe that he's not cheating because that's just a weird, I don't know, it's really expecting the worst out of someone, you know what I mean? So anyway, here was the article. You can see right here the link, Blake Horstmann denies being on Raya. So then when you click on the article, boom, Giannini, they're expecting their first baby together. So grateful. And you go, what the hell? This isn't it. You know what I mean? It's an article from 2 weeks ago. So either way, here's the actual article. It's available on Why Entertainment. The only reason people go to Yahoo Entertainment is when the Us Weekly article got deleted. Blake Horstmann slams Bachelor producer for suggesting he's on Raya amid Giannina Gabelli's pregnancy. Blake Horstmann claims he's not on Raya, despite what some fans and a former Bachelor producer might think. Well, so, and I understand if it is true that he was on Raya, then you say, well, what's he trying to hide? Is he trying to make a story where he was just randomly on it, texting one day? Maybe it did automatically resurface, and then he saw that he had some DMs and he responded to them because he didn't want to miss out on a business opportunity. I understand, folks. I sound a little crazy right now, even kind of trying to wrap my head around it. I guess I don't have the ability to think of a way, and again, this is Occam's razor, which is the sort of idea that the most probable solution is the most accurate. I just don't think if he were to cheat that he would be going on an app where people can absolutely find out. So when the producer said that the girl's friend took a photo of him, of the receipts, what she was saying was you're not supposed to share, you can't take screen grabs from your own account. It's illegal. You'll get kicked off the account. So my guess is the person who Blake may have been conversing with doesn't want this story to be out because they have an actual career. Let's say they're an influencer with several million followers. There could be a very good chance they're making $500,000 to $2 million a year. They don't need this drama. If you've got a 7-figure Dove sponsorship on your Instagram stories, you don't need your name, Jill Montgomery. I'm just making names up. Sorry, Jill Montgomery, if you're out there. You don't need, when you Google Jill Montgomery, to see Blake Horstmann. You just don't need that, especially if you're in a space that's non-controversial. So anyway, Blake had posted that. He said, I can't believe I have to address this because of a crazy ex-producer. Yes, 2 years ago, I got accepted on Raya 48 hours before I went on the show and met G. I froze the account and completely forgot about it. I upgraded my phone 2 months ago and the app updated and unfroze me. If the app wanted to make a statement, they could actually very clearly share the truth behind all of this. As you guys might know, I'm involved in a lawsuit where I'm being sued for harassment because of the Clayton Echard story I'm covering, and we're working with social media apps to actually get forensic information that might prove sinister motivations out there in the world. So things exist online. You can't just delete an account and things go away. That ain't how it works, folks. If Raya wanted to fry Blake and they had a place to do that, they could. Now, would they? No, of course not, because they want to protect the people that are on their app. The app is the customer. The clients are the customers. They want to protect their anonymity and things like that. That's why they don't generally allow any of this expose to happen here. So anyway, if there is any issue, by all means, we're going to be the first to report on it. But I just think the safest thing to say is there wasn't anything nefarious going on. If there were, that's for Giannina and Blake to work out. And for those that have said, oh, we don't want any undue stress on G, she's pregnant, I totally get that, folks. That's why I think it's better to talk about this in a way that's more level-headed than trying to just delete it, because that just draws more eyes to it. That's how it works. What Blake should have done with his press in the first place is not address this at all. It would have completely gone away. It would have been something only a few people talk about. It is absolutely drawn way more eyeballs to the story, to the point where, articles had to get deleted and this and that. But I still think when it's all said and done, it's a blip in the radar, unless more comes out. But again, nothing past those DMs happened, and what was the content of those DMs is yet to be known. Let me know what you guys think. And again, link in the description if you want to donate to our Tuesday, a day of giving. All right, we'll be back with more right after this.